Hey guys, we are back. I did a live stream of Left Alive last night, and I figured I'd do another one tonight of the second chapter. So we will continue from where we were left off as Olga. Oh.
HQ, come in. This is Captain Olga Kalanina. It's 3 p.m. I'm on my way to talk to a person of interest regarding the disappearances happening all over Novoslava. A man by the name of Dr. Lavrov seems to be involved. If I can't find him by 5 p.m., I'll return to HQ. Over and out.
Olga, I thought I made myself perfectly clear when I told you not to go out without backup again. You need to take a partner, especially to that part of the city. It's dangerous.
Yes, sir, I can see that. Considering the Ruthenian army is here. I don't remember them saying anything about stationing troops in this area.
They're here already, are they? It's an emergency deployment. Seems like there's been some sort of skirmish near the Garmonian border. They've also asked that the police cooperate with them however we can.
Skirmish, huh? Give me a break.
We're still waiting on the details. Once you get back, we'll send you on to accompany the troops. Over and out.
So Olga's probably my favorite character in the game. She's a police officer who used to be a soldier. Yeah, Wanzer pilot in the Garmonia army. She left the military after losing her only daughter to the violence that broke out between the army and the civilians during the fight for Novoslava's liberation. She became a Ruthenian citizen when the country annexed Novoslava and has been a police officer ever since. Currently, she is investigating missing persons cases within Novoslava. Alright. So, as you can see in the description, right now this game is 90% off just for the next two more days till Thursday. So if you like what you see in this game and you want to try it for yourself, I would pick it up right away, as it's only $5.99, whereas normally it's $59.99. So that is a cool outfit. I like that police officer uniform, very old school.
I'm with the police. Let me through.
You're telling me they sent you out here on your own? Guess the cops don't have enough people either. If you're serious about going down, I need to run your ID. Wait over there for a second.
Looks like we're all running on fumes, huh?
It's the perfect time of year, I think, to pick this game up if you haven't played it already. Safety in Novoslava continues to deteriorate after the city's reunification with Ruthenia. Experts see no sign of improvement for the foreseeable future, with the crime rate rising annually and the frequency of missing persons cases in particular spiking in recent years. Oh, yeah. It is a slum, huh? Jeez. So, as far as I know, she's looking for a man wanted in the disappearance of multiple children. I believe it has something to do with maybe testing or something devious.
You going into the slums? Today's probably not the best day for that. I hear the Garmonian army's acting weird. War might break out at any second.
Hey, need someone to show you around, beautiful?
Huh. Yeah, they told me about you. Investigating something? Sorry, but you'll need to wait until the check goes through. Orders are orders.
So we can't get through, so we'll have to find a way in. There's another entrance, though. Looking to see if I can find any files or anything.
Are you from around here? Don't be scared. It's all right. I'm just looking for someone. Hey, look. Meow. You don't know anyone called Dr. Lavrov, do you?
Dr. Pavel.
You do know him.
Uh-oh. That's not good.
What the? Those are Garmonian soldiers. I hope they don't mind if I borrow this. This is Captain Olga Kalanina of the Novoslava City Police. Unknown forces are attacking the slums. If anyone's there, if anyone's listening, please respond.
This is the Ruthenia Army Operation Support System. The government has declared a nationwide state of emergency. Please find somewhere safe to take refuge immediately.
I'm a police officer. That means I have an obligation to protect the people. I'm requesting the Army's cooperation.
This request falls under Acceptive Clause Paragraph 16, Item 2. Voice print data inquiry complete. The petitioner is Captain Olga Kalanina of the Novoslava City Police. Would you care to hear instructions for how to use this device, Captain?
No need. What's the situation?
Approximately 2 hours ago, the Garmonia Army launched an invasion of Novoslava. It is admirable that you wish to carry out your duty, but please prioritize your own safety.
That's sweet of you. Do you have a name?
I am Koshka, Captain.
Just Olga is fine. I'm in your hands, Koshka.
The enemy is approaching. Caution. 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 The enemy...
That didn't go exactly as it was supposed to. And that's strange, because normally one crack over the head will kill him instantly.
HQ, come in. This is Captain Olga Kalanina.
You there!
And you know, that's another thing about this game that's a little freaking weird is that weird things like that happen. Sometimes guys can see you. Sometimes guys can see you, and then sometimes they can't. Sometimes they hear you, and sometimes they can't. And I guess sometimes you could crack them over the head with the crowbar, and it won't hurt them.
Are you from around here? Don't be scared. It's all right. I'm just looking for someone. Hey, look. Meow. You don't know anyone called Dr. Lavrov, do you?
Dr. Pavel.
You do know him.
Excuse me. Now, the graphics in the PC and the Steam version definitely top the PS4 version, but they definitely, sometimes they take a while to render, whereas the PS4 version, it doesn't have that problem.
Those are Garmonian soldiers. Hope you don't mind if I borrow this. This is Captain Olga Kalanina of the Novoslava City Police. Unknown forces are attacking the slums. If anyone's there, if anyone's listening, please respond.
This is the Ruthenia Army Operation Support System. The government has declared a nationwide state of emergency. Please find somewhere safe to take refuge immediately.
I'm a police officer. That means I have an obligation to protect the people. I'm requesting the Army's cooperation.
This request falls under Exceptive Clause Paragraph 16, Item 2. Voice print data inquiry complete. The petitioner is Captain Olga Kalanina of the Novoslava City Police. Would you care to hear instructions for how to use this device, Captain?
No need. What's the situation?
Approximately 2 hours ago, the Garmonia Army launched an invasion of Novoslava. It is admirable that you wish to carry out your duty, but please prioritize your own safety.
That's sweet of you. Do you have a name?
I am Koshka, Captain.
Just Olga is fine. I'm in your hands, Koshka.
Caution. The enemy is approaching. 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 Caution. The enemy is approaching.
I wish you could hide their bodies, but it doesn't really matter.
Caution. The enemy is approaching. Caution. The enemy is approaching. Caution. The enemy is approaching. There is a shelter in this vicinity. I advise you take refuge there.
Like the ones the old government built. They're still standing?
According to records, they are still functional.
Alright then, sounds promising. Koshka, do a search of this area. I think there could be survivors here. I'll bring them to the shelter if we find any.
Please prioritize your own safety, Olga.
Have a look at my files. I'm ex-military, not some amateur. I know I can't stay here with things the way they are. I'm going to get out and meet up with the Ruthenian army. And I'll only rescue survivors if at all possible. You can't say no to that.
Survivors located. Transmitting coordinates to your device.
Thank you, Koshka.
Caution. The enemy is approaching. Caution. The enemy is approaching. Caution. The enemy is approaching. Caution. The enemy is approaching.
I thought maybe that Wanzer left his post.
Caution. The enemy is approaching. 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 Caution. The enemy is approaching.
You could craft weapons and traps and stuff. So those explosive cans act as like kind of weak grenades, but it's better than nothing.
Caution. The enemy is approaching. 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 Caution. The enemy is approaching.
That's who I heard. That guy.
Caution. The enemy is approaching. 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 Caution.
Shit.
Caution. The enemy is approaching. Caution. The enemy is approaching. Caution. The enemy is approaching. Caution. The enemy is approaching.
Thank you. You gotta look up high too. That's something that that's something that sometimes gets me, is I forget to check up the towers, because there are usually guys up there.
Caution. The enemy is approaching.
Are you a cop? Please, let me go. I was just getting some money from Gramps. I just came to pick up the money he owed me today. Come on, you gotta help me out. This stupid war broke out before I knew what was happening.
Who's Gramps?
Don't act like you don't know. You came here looking for old Lavrov, didn't you? Gramps asked me to find him girls, that's all. Young girls, as young as I could find, who wouldn't be too much trouble. So I brought him, you know, runaways, orphans. I got no clue what happened after I handed him over.
Disgusting. Where is he now? Lavrov.
We always made the exchange at the abandoned hospital on top of that hill. Come on, you gotta help me out.
Koshka, tell me how to get to that abandoned hospital. And find the closest shelter, too.
Understood. Transmitting coordinates now.
Head for the shelter, and don't let those soldiers see you.
Civilian registered as subject of protection. Commencing guidance to shelter. Caution. The enemy is approaching.
All right, so when you're escorting civilians, you can put them on a path. So you can see where he's heading right there. And you can use this to have him move, so you don't even have to tell him. Like if I hit X now,
Now.
you can see it changed.
Caution. The enemy is approaching.
Shit.
Caution. The enemy is approaching.
We gotta get that guy out of the picture. That was a major chance. Because if there was somebody around the corner, he would have heard that. For sure.
The enemy is approaching. Caution. The enemy is approaching. Caution. The enemy is approaching. Caution. The enemy is... Caution. The enemy is approaching. 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 Caution. The enemy is approaching.
Wanzers are a little weird.
I have located civilians who failed to escape. Transmitting coordinates to your device.
It,
Caution. The enemy is
if
approaching.
you get too close to the Wanzer, it's instant death. It will step on you. Which makes sense. You know, if you get stepped on by one of those things, you're probably not going to survive. There's a number of guys down here. This is where it starts to get very, very tricky. Trying to sneak around. And you definitely don't want to climb. to the top of those towers, you're guaranteed to get caught. Because the thing is, there's two guys there, then there's like another two guys over down here, and they have they got pretty good vision, and they catch you when you least suspect it. So you gotta move very slow.
Caution. The enemy is approaching.
Fuck, he's staring right at me.
Caution. The enemy is approaching.
This guy has caused me problems in the past. So this guy right here, I'm gonna take out with the crowbar, but this guy's caught me doing it before.
Caution. The enemy is approaching. 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 Caution. The enemy is approaching.
Yeah, I see, he saw me.
Caution. The enemy is approaching. Caution. The enemy is approaching. Caution.
Fucking asshole.
The enemy is approaching.
Like how? How? Paradise Burger. Alexander gave me his receipt to Paradise Burger. Shit. Alright, just trying to figure out my strategy for getting back the way I came from. I've tried cutting through the center before, and I always get caught. But that's the fastest way to get over there. And there's a shelter close by. I don't know any other options.
Caution. The enemy is approaching. 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 Caution. The enemy is approaching.
Enemy spotted!
Fuck. I gotta find a hiding spot.
Caution. Close quarters weapon damaged.
And I actually got a few of them too. That's pretty cool. I don't normally do this well. So yeah, as you heard Koshka say, your melee weapons start to get damaged. I don't think we pick up a rifle in this level, so... Oh, shit. Did that person get killed? What was I, too late? Ah, okay. I've never had that happen before. I've gone caught and still made it to those people. Wow, that sucks. It really sucks.
Caution. The enemy is approaching.
Don't care. Asshole. Shit.
Caution. The enemy is approaching. 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 Caution. The enemy is approaching.
What choice do I have?
Caution. The enemy is approaching. 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 Caution. The enemy is approaching.
Enemy spotted.
Shit. What are you doing? Stupid fucking idiot. Whatever. Man, I'm still bummed out about the other person dying, because I rescued them both in the PS4 version. And I'm very surprised the other guy got killed. Or the woman, I believe. You do get dinged for that, too. They counted against you. There we go. Wait a minute. Hold on one sec. Alright, whatever.
Run! They found me!
Caution. The enemy is approaching.
There! You saved me. Are you alright?
Don't worry about me. Just get going. There's a shelter nearby. I'll tell you where.
Subject of protection registered. Lead the way to the shelter.
Now!
Shit. I believe there's a lot of guys.
Caution. The enemy is approaching.
What?
Caution. The enemy is approaching. Caution. The enemy is approaching.
It's kind of a risk leaving that thing there.
Oh my god, this is the exact opposite of safe!
Where the fuck did that guy come from? Whatever. Look at that guy. So I just want to search around real quick for ammo. But I'm pretty sure there's not much left. Yeah. It's probably not worth it. We gotta get up there now.
Caution. The enemy is approaching. Caution. The enemy is approaching.
Yeah, I think that one soldier comes all the way down. Shit. Nope, take him out, I guess. That's a cool ass looking gun. I love that one. I see X and so I press X. Not remembering that the X on the DualShock is supposed to be A.
Please, Major, wait. Haven't I done all you asked? Don't act like you don't remember. I got you all those girls. All the ones you wanted. Antonina, Irina, Serafima. I have records of all of them. If you kill me now...
Lieutenant Borden.
This guy's a shitbag.
It's Major Olga. How long has it been since you served under me? 3 years? And now you're a Ruthenian dog. You're the best of the best. And I still see that same arrogance in your eyes.
That was Dr. Lavrov you just killed, wasn't it? How are you involved with him?
I see no reason to tell you. Besides, we're in the middle of a war. So what if I kill one or two people from the country we're fighting? Oh, he is? What a relief. That just means there's one less piece of filth the world has to worry about. Some people deserve to die. I suppose that's something you'll never understand. But now that you've returned to me, I'm happy to start your training all over again. I really was sorry to hear about your daughter. Hard to believe it's been 3 years since then. I don't understand you. It was these fool Ruthenians that killed your daughter in the first place.
You were working with Lavrov. Don't try to tell me you had nothing to do with all the people that went missing.
Enough of these wild delusions. Apparently I didn't train you as well as I should have. Come now, Olga. Don't make this harder than it has to be. Novoslava is finished no matter what you do.
Don't underestimate me. I'm not who I used to be.
What is it? Yeah, all right. I'm on my way. Apologies, Olga. But I've got to take care of this. The vermin in this city won't exterminate themselves.
Just shoot him in the head. Just get it over with.
She's a little worked up. Why don't you give her something else to think about?
If they want to die.
The enemy soldiers are regrouping. They have you surrounded. Prepare for a counterattack.
Shit. I forgot the controls.
Much better.
The enemy is approaching. Caution. The enemy is approaching. There is a side road behind the building. You can escape that way. Caution. The enemy is approaching.
Looks like I made it out all right. I gotta hurry up and find the Ruthenian army.
Reports are coming in that our troops are outnumbered all throughout Novoslava. There is also word that Garmonia is sending further reinforcements over the eastern border.
Oh, shit.
This can't be happening. Tell me where our troops are.
There is a unit currently engaged in combat on the west side of the city, but it is too dangerous there.
I don't know if you've noticed, but it's dangerous everywhere. I'm going.
All right, that's it. So that will do it for tonight. Quite a lot happened in that chapter compared to Mikhail's chapter last night. So as you can see, I failed one of the side missions, one of the rescue missions. Again, I don't know how that happened because I've played it on the PS4. I don't have it at hand, and I've been caught by the soldiers trying to do that mission and still rescued the woman. Like, everything you saw just happen, I've been through before, and I still was able to save her. So I'm very stunned that she was killed. But, you know, I guess this is how it goes. That's the gamble you take. So, that's it. And, again, game is on sale, $5.99 if you like what you saw and you want to see more. You can pick it up. You know, if you try it out and you don't like it yourself, 2 hours or under and you could return it back to Steam, no problem. No harm, no foul. But I personally, it's one of my favorite recent games. Alright guys, I will see you next time. Good night.